everybody, it's Jen. Today is September 1st, 2020, and I am getting ready to do the cards for the week, but it just felt like it's just such a big message right now that I felt like it would be better for me to just come on and do a video. I tried to go live, it's not working, so I'm just going to record it and then I'll get the link out to you guys as soon as I can. But there's something that is big that's going to be shifting. I know we've been saying this over and over, like I'm not the only person saying this for, it seems like months now. It seems like I almost feel like a broken record at this point, but there's just something going on about something big coming to the surface. Now, there's a few key phrases that my guides have been using that are kind of, they keep sticking out to me. And so I just felt like I would come on and talk about it. There's a few key phrases, okay? They've used the words unearthed, unmasked, revealed, and being brought to the surface, okay? So all of these things are, I feel like there's something in those where there's key phrases that we need to pay attention to. And it's really interesting because part of what they're also reminding me of today is that we all have personal sovereignty. I remember at the beginning of the year, in the January message, it was like we were going to have clear vision. We were going to see things clearly. I know that this is just the beginning of seeing the truth of things. And I don't know how long it's going to take for everything to be revealed, but it's already starting to happen for those who are ready to see. Okay. Now, my guides have said this before, for those that have eyes to see, for those that have ears to hear, like you're only going to see this truth if you're ready and willing to wake up and stand in personal responsibility. Remember, that's another key phrase that was, coming from my guides. If you're on Patreon already, you already know that we've talked about radical responsibility and breaking the dysfunctional human condition. And I apologize if I sound funny, you guys. I have a little bit of a sinus thing going on right now. Don't worry, it's not COVID, but I just have a little sinus stuff going on. And so I know I sound a little bit like I have a cold. But anyway, even in the beginning of the year, they've been saying that we've got to break the dysfunctional human condition, which a lot of that is these really messed up codependent patterns and this idea that we want everybody to do exactly what we think that they should do, right? And not all of us, but I'm just saying, like, there's this general theme that's been passed down for generations that you better just do what you're told. And, that isn't always the best thing, right? Like, there's something else too, you guys, that is hitting me this morning that's about keeping your mouth shut, and it has to do with the masks. And I was actually talking to a friend earlier, and I had to say, you know what, we're going to have to agree to disagree because there's something in the energy behind this. Okay, now I know I said this on some other things this year as well. There's certain things that I can't get behind because it's not what they're showing you. Like what they're saying that they stand for totally makes sense. I totally get it, but there's something behind it. There's something energetically not aligning that I just can't stand behind it. And there's something about the whole idea with the masks. Now, I'm not saying don't wear masks. I'm not saying go wear masks. I'm saying it's totally up to you on what you choose to do, because we have to remember we have personal sovereignty and choice. That being said, I thank God I'm in a place where we're not having to wear masks that often. And the places that it's required, then I am respectfully wearing the mask if I have to in those situations. But I will say that I don't wear it if I don't have to. Okay. So just so you know, I'm not totally against one way or another, but I'm saying that if I were you, I would sit with the energetics of it and look behind what's actually being shown. You guys, again, this is like, it's beneath the surface, right? So like on the surface level, of course it would make sense. Okay, yeah, wear a mask so that you don't get people sick. That makes sense. But there's something behind that that's not in alignment with why they want you to wear a mask. There's something going on beneath the surface that's just, I can't align with it. There's something there, and it has to do with covering your face, right? You can't see a person. You can't see a smile. You can't see kindness even is sometimes in a smile, right? Like there's so much to be said in a smile. So why are they covering that up? The whole thing with social distancing too, you guys, I feel like there's something off with that, because everything about the instincts we have as humans is to be a tribe and to be a community and to support each other and be with each other. And think about the way that we grieve and the way that we process and the way that we heal. It's all about hugging and compassion and embracing people and things like that. So what is going on beneath the surface of this? What is going on behind the scenes? And why is there such this adamant thing about keeping people separate? There's just something going on, you guys, that is not, there's something going on that's just below the surface of what we're seeing and what they're telling us. Okay. So remember that the key words that I've been getting are unearthed, beneath the surface or brought to the surface, being unearthed, unmasked, and revealed. So there's something in that. So if things are to be unmasked, right? So if I have a mask on, back in the day, that used to be like, remember when there was cops and robbers, the bad guys had the masks on. They could be hidden. You couldn't see the truth of who they were. So you guys, there's just something in this that I can't quite bring the words together, but I just feel like these phrases are clues. And there's something going on. Okay. So the other part of the message that I'm hearing is that there's going to be some people who will be they're going to be shaken to the core. Like when the truth comes out, they are literally not going to be able to stand it. I know I've said this before on a Patreon message, that literally people won't be able to handle it. Now, how that's going to show up, I don't know. I honestly feel like, I remember a couple years ago talking to a friend of mine when we had met for coffee. And we both had this sense that there would be a lot of people leave the planet. Okay, so that means that there would be a lot of people that would pass over, move on, transition, whatever word you want to say with that. I don't know if it's going to be like that or not, but I feel like there are some people who are going to completely reject the truth that comes to light. Okay, now that being said, if you're on this channel with me, if you're watching this, chances are you're ready for this shift. And the best thing that you can do is hold on to faith and don't fall into the trap of fear and hate. Okay. We have to remember that we all have free will and we all have a choice. Okay. We all have a choice on how we react, on how we act in the first place, right? And how we choose to go through things. So my personal choice is to have my own sovereignty to decide what is right for me and to allow everybody else to decide what is right for them as well. They're going to know what they need to do. If you're somebody who's totally in fear and you're freaked out and you don't want to go to town, stay home, take care of yourself, do what's right for you. But there's something about this twisted, messed up idea of codependency where everybody trying to make other people do what they think they need to do because that's what they think is right. That's totally against everything that personal sovereignty stands for, right? And that's what my guides have been saying since the beginning of the year, is that there was something about having sovereignty, knowing that we have the right to decide for ourselves. Okay. So the one thing that I want to say is that for this month of September, there's a couple things. First of all, focus on yourself. Okay. Focus on what feels good to you. Focus on what you need to do to keep yourself happy, healthy, all of those kind of things. Be in a space of radical responsibility for yourself. Hold yourself to the best, highest frequency that you can. Hold fast to love. Align with divine truth and align with shining light and allowing others to choose for themselves what they want. And that even means allowing them to choose fear and worry and sadness if that's what they choose. Okay. It's a really hard thing to say, you guys, because especially for those of us who want to, help everyone, we want so much for everybody to, be in love and be in happiness and be in joy and be in abundance and all of those kind of things, because it's a choice to be in vibration with that. It's a choice to be in vibration with love and light and peace and joy and happiness. It's a choice. We get to choose that. That being said, if we want to stand in the sovereignty, then that means we have to have radical responsibility for ourselves, which means we choose how we want to navigate through life, right? So what would happen if the only motivation you had for the entire month of September was love? If that's the motivation and the driving force behind every action that you take, right? What if going to the grocery store, you are going with love because you want to support your family and get the groceries that they need, and you do that with love at the core, okay? What if you decide to maybe allow somebody to wear a mask or not wear a mask out of love by letting them choose what they want to do for themselves, right? There's so many twisted things that can get into this, you guys, but you have to understand the whole idea of codependency is codependency is you wanting someone to do what you want them to do because it keeps you feeling like you're in control. Okay. So again, it doesn't matter which side of the coin that is, whether that's wearing a mask or not wearing a mask, you guys, that is like, that's not even the issue, honestly. Like, the media is putting this out there and making us be divided, and it's just a distraction. You guys, I can't even say that enough. Like, I feel like this so strongly, and I know I've said this before, but all of the stuff that you're seeing out there is just a distraction. And I feel like whatever's going to happen is like, COVID's nothing. And I've said that before too, you guys, but I can't even explain. You've just got to feel into the energy of this and understand that there's something deeper going on. And that the best thing that you can do is focus within, tune into your heart, trust that God is guiding you. And there's no fear in love, you guys. Like, I don't even know how to make that more clear. Like, and maybe it's just a messed up thing that I'm not afraid of dying. Like, maybe that's why I'm not having this fear. Like, if that's what happens, that's what happens. Like, and I'm not trying to say that in a like blowing people off kind of way. I'm just saying, I know that there's so much more to life than what we realize. And I know that there is so much more beyond this life than we realize. And I know that God is bigger than everything that's happening. And that whatever is happening right now in this moment on this planet is meant to happen. And you can choose how to go through it. You can go through it kicking and screaming, or you can go through it with faith and doing the best you can to hold love as your core vibration every step of the way, right? Now, that being said, of course, it makes sense to be afraid sometimes. We all have fear. You know, it is a little scary not knowing what's going on, but you've got to get to the place in your heart that you know that it's all going to be okay, right? So that's really the focus of what I feel like where we should be focused for September is focusing within ourselves. How can I look at my immediate reality, and what do I need to do for myself and my family in this moment, right? Letting go of trying to control everybody else, letting go of trying to control what somebody else does or how they behave or what they do, and knowing that really it doesn't even affect you what they're doing. It's a totally codependent pattern to think that what somebody else is doing has any effect on you. So I did pull cards for this week. And I always do this in my Facebook group, the Embodied Grace Community. I pull cards every week using Denise Lynn, the Native Spirit Oracle cards. And for the theme this week, it's the spirit of the earth, you guys. Not even kidding. Like, when I just pulled this right before I came on video, I was like, of course, this is what it's saying. If we can focus and understand the truth and abundance, and if we can tune into what is happening all around us, this card, it says spirit of the earth, and it says prosperity is blossoming in all areas of your life. You are strong and grounded. Who you are is enough, just as you are. Connect more fully with nature. The spirit of the earth asks that you tend to your health, detoxify your body, understand how to use your body's physiology, pay attention to how your body feels, and respond accordingly. Create a home for your soul. You guys, this card is perfect. Create a home for your soul. Have objects in your home that feel good to you. When you see them, be present and cherish the here and now. Okay? This, if you go on to the further meaning of the card in her guidebook, It says, your native spirit wants you to know that the spirit of the earth represents your physical self and your physical surroundings. It's okay to make plans for the future, but make sure you also embrace and appreciate the present. You're deeply and profoundly loved and supported at all times, no matter what's occurring in your life. Trust that all your needs are being met. Take time to create space in your home where you feel absolutely at peace, and in doing so, you create a template for peace in all areas of your life. Feel the solidity and power of the earth beneath you. This is in your core. Just as grass pushes up out of the moist ground, know that fresh new shoots of growth are similarly taking place within you right now. You are grounded, prosperous, and strong. So you guys, this is just what I was saying. You've got to focus within. So focus within, stay grounded, stay centered. As much as you can, focus on love. I almost can tell just by saying that in September we should focus within ourselves. I can feel that. Like, I can feel that even as I say that, some of us are going to be able to do that. Some of us are going to be fine to just be able to be in prayer and meditation and do our regular daily things like we need to do every day, and it's going to be fine. There's going to be other people that are going to be kicking and screaming the entire time through this month. Okay. I will say the more you can surrender to knowing that a lot of what's happening out there is really a masquerade is the word I just heard. Like, I literally heard, like, it's a masquerade. It's like you're not seeing the truth of what's happening. And that when that truth is revealed, the more centered and grounded you are, the easier it's going to be able to get through whatever this big awakening is, whatever this big revealing is, whatever this big unearthed situation is. So however that feels to you, the best thing that I can tell you to do is to focus within, to trust yourself in your guides, to trust that you have everything you need. Okay, again, you guys, coming back to pure vibration, if you can stay grounded and feel that everything's going to be okay, everything will be okay, despite what's happening outside of you. Okay, so do your best to take time for yourself, pay attention to your physical body, your physical surroundings, do what you need to do to stay safe and secure. If it makes you feel good to have a little stockpile of groceries, get a little stockpile of groceries. If you need to rearrange the way that you do your daily life, then rearrange some things. Do whatever you need to do to keep yourself as calm and focused and understanding that it's all okay. That being said, I'm going to also challenge you to ask yourself why, if you're one of those people that's like, no, they have to do it this way because this is what has to be done. Why do they have to conform to the way you want things done? Right? Because I'm telling you, there's something big going to break that. And I feel like this is partly vibrational too. Like, it's partly the ascension and the vibration. We're understanding that we all are divinely unique. And so it wouldn't make sense for everybody to be in this conformed, this is the way things are, because that doesn't even resonate with 5D. Now that I'm sitting here thinking of this right now, and I'm like, that's why, because as we move up the vibrational scale, as we ascend, as we awaken to divine truth is we all are unique. And so, oh my gosh. Okay. So I just want to tune into what my guides are saying. Okay. So we're all being shaken so that we can awaken to the divine truth of who we are. So it's so funny. Something that's been coming to me that I know who you are in divine truth, and it's so much beyond what you think as being human. And there's so many people who are still kind of stuck in that just being human part that we've kind of lost track. We've been so distracted by media and phones and, all of the things, the technology and all of those kind of things, that the best thing we can do right now is to come back to ourselves, come back to the truth of who we are. If you don't know who you are, this might be a really good time to say, okay, you know what? Who am I? What do I want? If this whole idea of personal sovereignty was true, what would that mean for me? right? What choices do I need to make that will align with what I want in my life? You guys, I really feel like this is a big shift that's going to happen. And again, I feel like it's going to take a lot of discipline to be able to stay grounded and stay centered in this next span of time as we go through this. I'm hearing human transition. Like it's a transition as a species, as a whole, of how we're awakening to different realities and different possibilities. um and in divine truth, there's freedom, and we all have free will. Like, we know this, right? Like, we've it doesn't matter what religion you come from, you've heard of free will in some way, shape, or form, right? So we all have free will and we all have free choice. So if you want to grow through this, if there's some part of you that doesn't want to allow somebody else to have that free choice, ask yourself why, because I feel like there's really big opportunity for growth in that. Okay, in that awakening. The other thing that had been coming to me a lot this morning, and I couldn't figure out like which, there's so many different verses on it, I wasn't sure where to go, but it's almost the idea of refinement by the fire. And I know that I've talked about this before, because refining something by fire is actual alchemy. So look, if you look at it from just a scientific standpoint, when you alchemize a metal, you heat it up to where all of the impurities can't withstand it. So for example, if you are going to refine silver, you heat the silver to such a high degree that the only thing that can happen is the liquid silver will continue to flow, but all of the impurity is too heavy, and so it falls out. And so what happens is, as that melts, when it comes back through the fire, the silver stays liquid, and then it becomes pure silver, because all of the other impurities that were there literally fall out of it. So there's something right now about humanity as a whole, and human beings as a whole, being awakened and being refined to a new level of purity. Okay, that's the message that I'm getting today. So sending you guys lots of love. I do have some cards I'm going to do in the group later. I was going to do it on video, but this has gotten a little bit longer than I was planning for. So I will send you guys lots of love. Come join me in the Facebook group for the reading later. And if you're on Patreon, I will also get the recorded message out soon. Talk to you later. Bye.